to install this bung in an existing gas tank. And the bung is for this awesome brass vented gas cap that we sell, so it just basically changes the look of the tank. It's a nice little icing on the cake item. We're going to be using this peanut tank, and it has an existing filler neck in it, so we have to remove that because this bung isn't going to fit, obviously. We need a nice clean hole to drop this in and weld it. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove this filler neck. Now I'm going to be using a Dynafile, which is this nice little handy belt sander. But you can use a die grinder if you want. You could technically use a plasma cutter. I mean, you could use a file if you had to. It would just take a long time. What I'm going to be doing is basically just grinding out the interior weld of the filler neck, and the filler neck should just pop right out after that. Always make sure you have your cheesy safety glasses when you're doing any kind of work where you're grinding or cutting, because when you get something in your eye, it's not fun. Now there's an interior weld on the inside of the filler that I can see, so I ground that down all the way around, and if we're real careful, if you take a pair of vice grips, we can just wiggle the filler and it should just pop right out. You don't want to pry on it because you don't want to damage the actual sheet metal on the gas tank. And there we have it. There's our filler, and a pretty good hole there. And we're actually going to grind that out bigger. One good thing to do is take a Sharpie marker and mark on the inside, and then grind up to that, and that'll get you close, and then you're just going to keep basically grinding until this drops, just drops nicely down inside that hole. Now I drew with a Sharpie the outer diameter of the filler bung, and I don't know if you can see that in the video, but I have to take off quite a bit. But it's thin sheet metal, so again, the Dynafile or die grinder would be the best way to do that. So I took my time with the Dynafile and I just went around until I got close to that Sharpie mark, and just wanted to see if this bung will drop in. I got it pretty close, it just dropped in. So now we're ready to weld this in. Now that the filler neck is properly removed from the tank and we have grinded out the right size hole to fit the bung, we're going to get ready to weld. Now what I'm going to do with this cap is I'm going to screw it together tightly, as much as I would basically want to tighten it by hand if it's mounted on the tank. Now this type of bung, I don't really want to see any threads, so I'm going to drop it in to the tank so it's almost flush mount. So it drops in like that, and then I'm just going to space it up enough distance so I can get a weld around it, and that when you screw the cap in, it won't hit the weld. So I was looking around the shop for something to space up the gas cap so I don't hit the welds. When I weld it, I don't want it to screw in and actually bottom on the welds. I want it to seal. So I actually just found a couple nuts. It's about 3/16 of an inch. This is not an exact science. And I just spaced them underneath the gas cap. And I'm going to put 2 more on this side, so they're all the same, thickness. Then I'm going to tack the bung into the gas tank and then weld it up. I did put 2 tacks on it, and I'm going to check the cap when it's tightened. Just double check that when you tighten it down as much as you'd want to tighten it, it's not going to hit the weld, because I am going to weld this solid. Definitely take your cap out. We're going to weld it up. Okay, I finished welding the bung in. Obviously make sure that you empty all of the gas out of the tank and blow it out for a long time before you put any heat anywhere near this tank. But now it's all welded in. Gas cap screws down. And I wanted to see the weld. That looks cool. I like it. Pick one up today at monstercraftsman.com.